Block that road completely. Even when the friends call you, tell you that I need 2K urgent. 2K. Have you realized that ikifika tarehe 15, 20, kuna watu wanakupigia nitumie 2K urgently. Urgently. They spent everything, they have come for you now. They have come for you, sir, Sam. And you see, they are enemy of your financial progress. They are enemies. You know what they are coming for? When they are requesting you send them 2,000, 5,000, they are coming for your car. They are coming for your land. They are coming for that business that you were about to start. Because it is that 2,000 multiplied by 100 times that will enable you to put a down payment for that land, a down payment for that house, a down payment for that car, a down payment for that business. Maybe somebody comes with a brilliant business idea and I've got this idea. When you assess this idea, it is a multi-million-dollar business idea. But I've got only 500,000. I need 1 million from you. If we get 1.5 million, we start this business. But because you have nothing, you have been giving out, dashing out your money, that business opportunity will bypass you. And you'll end up experiencing the same financial freedom every now and then. Have we understood there? If you have got any question pertaining to that area, just note it down. It's a very complex thing. And that is what people don't want to know. That one, I can take 1 week talking about. That's why you see, I like my specialist app. I have mastered especially the money mindset part of it and the psychology, because that is what is ailing Africans, all of us. Hizo zingine ni story. Saving hazina shida, investment hazina shida, starting a business there's no problem. Those ones are easy, a walk in the park if you just realign and program your mind correctly. Now, when it comes now to reading, studying and acquiring the specialized information, do you know the area that you are influencing? You know what you are doing? You are deactivating the neurons, the highways of spending. How you deactivate now the highways is by introducing a new road in form of reading and studying. And that is why it is hard for so many to read and study. That's why it is said, if you want to hide anything from an African, put what? Put in the books. Because the only way to deactivate that road of spending is introducing a new road. Thika Road Superhighway, to deactivate the old Moranga Road, introduce a new road. And the only way to introduce it is by deactivating the other old road. By reading and studying. When you read and study, listen to audio programs. Listen to the likes of Nick. What I'm doing today, I'm reconstructing new roads in your mind. New road, new ones. New. That will lead to new destinations. New destinations of financial freedom, riches and wealth. Because something else that I'll talk about it, that financial freedom, riches and wealth, it is a place. It is somewhere. Though it is not a geographical location, but it is a state that you need to travel with. You need to navigate to that place, but you need a certain path. But that path does not exist. You tried to save, to invest, to start a business, to generate a business idea, but those neurons, those pathways do not exist. They do not exist. And the only way, that's why Solomon, the wisest man that ever lived, said wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom. With all thy getting, get understanding. You want financial freedom? You want riches? You want wealth? Deactivate the old pathways that lead to spending, and now introduce new pathways by reading, studying, acquiring the information. Because if you don't acquire, forget. Even if you take 17 years, forget about it. I'm telling you out of experience. I'm telling you, there was a time I could read from 8 a.m. in the evening, 8 a.m. in the morning, till 12 in the midnight. Not knowing what I was doing. It is today that do you think these things I'm talking about I learned about yesterday? Ma'am, do you think I learned about them yesterday? These things I did from 2014, 2013. Though I didn't know what I was doing, but I was tired about money problems. I was tired about rent problems every now and then. And I made a decision. This thing has to come to an end. And it began by studying. When you talk about the rich and grow, Rich Dad Poor Dad, those books I know them in and out. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Woo, that was my first book. I have read over 700 books, my good friends. Over 700 books. When I talk about one of my networks, I'm sorry, I'm not sharing this as a result of pride. I just want to share my lifestyle to you so that you don't think that I landed from heaven. One of my greatest assets is my library. I've secured a whole room as my library in my house. Anytime I'm not doing trainings, I'm not with my children. The only place I am is in my library. It's in my library. Studying about wealth. How can I multiply? Studying. As I'm doing that, new paths are being created. New paths are being created. New paths are being created. That is the secret. That is the secret. My good friends, that's the secret. Invest in your mind, knowing that I'm creating a new pathways that will lead me to riches and wealth. The reason why I've been struggling, those paths don't exist. You see, you will struggle. If you try to pass here into the other side, you will struggle because there is no path. There's no road. You need to do what? And you see, because now this new road that you are trying to create of saving, investing, and generating new, it is a new thing. There's a temptation of going back to the old road. Because you have, there are mountains, there are rocks, there are stones. It is hard. And that is why we need bulldozers. You do it is hard for you. So if you are not careful, if you don't know what you are dealing with, there will be a temptation to go back to the old road or spending again, going for baby showers, going for road trips, and going for holidays, even if you know you are still broke and struggling financially. Because it is one of the easiest roads. It is easier. Is it a problem to use bigger road highway? It is one of the easiest. Even for a new learner, in terms of driving, it is one of the easiest. But the old one, a lot of bumps. Highway, there is no bumps. Have you not realized? Expressway, there is no bumps. But in the two-way traffic, there's a lot of bumps. The old Moranga, there's a lot of bumps. So there will be a lot of bumps, metaphorically, when you try to install a new culture of walking into the space of riches and wealth. It will not be easy. Mom, it will not be easy. Can you imagine all those years you have been working and now you're introducing a new journey? Simon, that's why kunaambianga samaki mkuja angali mbichi. Though it's never too late for you, you can still make a decision. The founder of KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, is called who? I have to challenge you so that you become readers. It's called who? He's called who? Yes? He's called Colonel Sanders. He started his Kentucky Fried Chicken business with his last retirement check at the age of 65 years. All of us, we save. Today we save to go and eat at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Can I tell you something? The moment he wrote his recipe, he went to present his recipe for 1,080 times. And those potential partners, they told him no. 1,008, Ananda, I have got this recipe of Kentucky Fried Chicken. If we do this, we will get this. 1,008 times, capital, no, 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 no. Until 1,009 times, potential partner, he told him, we can give it a try. We can give it a try. It's because he was convicted in his mind. It was, the pathways to this KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken business, it was clear in his mind. He could see the end. He could see the end. And that is why he didn't, it did not matter what people would say about it. He believed in it. And that is why I talked about the clarity part of it. So he had built the pathways that leads to that business. Otherwise you'll be discouraged. Ati mami, uliona tu uanze hiyo biashara? Hakuna kitu kingine ungefikiria? Ati na hiyo miaka yako yote ulizunguka ukaona tu uanze biashara ya smoky. You have to build, and that conviction comes. Look at the likes of Henry Ford. The founder of what? Is the founder of what? Ford. Women enjoy. Sijui nimesema Ford. Enyewe ni wa Ford. I thought you were just taking advantage of the name Ford. But to make it easier, he's the founder of that today politicians are fighting to buy. Do you know he tried to come out with an 8-cylinder engine for 12 years? 12! Working on the same thing, 12 years. He tries. Because there's what we call mastermind in business. You don't need to enter into the business alone. You can bring somebody on board. Maybe you have an idea and the other person has the capital. You come together. I always say it's better to be the tail of an elephant than to be the head of an ant. You start, that person has a big idea. You enter, you partner. That business metaphorically is like an elephant. It's better you become a tail of an elephant than the head of an ant. Tumeelewana? Yes. So he tried that to launch that 8-cylinder engine for 12 years, and he had a mastermind. By the way, this guy employed 50 engineers. Henry Ford never appeared anywhere. Never appeared anywhere. He was just the guy controlling the ideas and everything. But he played the engineers. For 12 years, he used to pay them. So engineers would come back to tell him, the idea is not working. We have tried to launch an 8-cylinder engine. It's not working. We have tried to launch. It's not. And go back. Go back. The only thing I want is an 8-cylinder engine machine. Nothing less. 12 years. So if you have not built strong highways in your mind of that business, you will give up. You will give up. You know this thing I've been doing for how many years? This is the 4th year. Do you think it was easy for me? Visiting, I've gone to even their staff at 3,000. Do you know what it means to approach such a company? You talk to the MD and you propose an idea and you tell them, I have this and this and this. This annual salary increment to your people will not help them, but I have a solution. And they have to call the board. And the board members are invited and they tell you, come present your whatever you are saying. Do you think it is easy? They will tell you, no, no, no. If you don't believe in what you have, you will pack your things and go back to employment again. We were with this guy somewhere. I left and the CEO called me. Why have you left? I told him, my season in your company is over. I'm sorry. They called, the national sales manager called me. Why have you left? It's because my season in your company is over. I'm sorry, let's do other things. And if you don't believe in what I'm doing, it's okay. Go to those who believe. You have to believe in what you have. But that conviction, Sam, it comes by investing in strong neural pathways, highway. It's like it's unstoppable. There is no bumps. There's no bumps. Up go 150. Where's the stop? The only person who can stop you is the person who can partner with you or join you. If we are going to become people of great influence and impact in this life, it begins investing in that part. I will not talk about the saving, because I know even if I talk about the savings, and the wiring in your mind is a wrong wiring. Wiring ni mbaya. Wiring ni mbaya. So we deal with the wiring first. To connect wire vizuri. Hizo zingine zitakuwa walk in the park. I assure you. Some hizo zingine saving, investment, because you understand, you have built the park, it will be a walk in the park. That is why those people who are avoiding the financial literacy, that is why the greatest investment today when you are beginning, it is investing in yourself. It is one of the greatest investments with the highest returns ever. Investing in yourself, investing in your mind. Information. Now, let me say this. Is my time over? Don't worry. Whatever I'll say today is what God wanted me to say. But I can assure you at the end of it, I will not be out of words, I will be out of time. Now, we agreed information graduates from the conscious to the subconscious, right? Are we together? Now, subconscious mind determines 95% of your financial success. Are we together? 95%. Which means you have to sweet talk what? How do you sweet talk? You remember when you were sweet talking that girl, Nicholas? You remember? Nakumbuka venye ulimwambia? Yes. That's how we need to sweet talk our subconscious mind. Because can you imagine? Anadetermine 95% Sam. Yeah? Si inabidi utafute lugha yote. Lugha yote. Now, now there has to be a file, a software in the subconscious mind that guarantees and produces the results of riches and wealth. A file stroke a software that guarantees riches and wealth in the subconscious mind. Now, Ephesians 3:20 says, what does it say? For I can do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you may think. Thank you. Perfect. Thinking, there's thinking and imagining. I like you know the scripture. That's why I said it's not about quoting scriptures. But at least you know. There are those who don't know. So that you can take it from where you are. Now there's thinking as part of it. According how to you can ask or think. Now, asking is in the conscious mind. How many people have been asking to become rich and wealthy? Yes? All of us, we have been asking, why are we not rich? So it's not enough to ask. There's an aspect of the other level asking. It's an application. You have applied now to the subconscious mind, the CEO, the holder of signature and stamp, to approve whether you are going to become rich or not. Now, how does the subconscious mind behave in such a request? How does it behave? I want to become financially free. I want to become rich. I want to become wealthy. Do you know what the subconscious mind does? It assesses the kind of file or the softwares that you have, whether it guarantees you as a guarantor as a guarantor to become rich or not. When there is no such file of riches and wealth, because you never invested in terms of reading, understanding, studying, meditating, you never invested, because those files are created as a result. Those neurons are created as a result of reading, studying, meditating. They are created. Now, you have applied the request of being rich and wealthy. Now, the subconscious mind, it determines 95% of your success. You know what it does? They check the database. This one you cannot get it. Go and Google. Some things you'll never get them from the books. It will take the revelation of God. Anytime God changed a man's life in the Bible, Genesis to Revelation, the first thing he interrupted was the mind. The first thing God dealt with, it is the mind. Now, back to our analogy. The subconscious mind checks. You have requested for riches. You have requested for wealth. Do we have such a software that guarantees riches and wealth? Do we have such a file that guarantees riches? And then the subconscious mind checks and it will say no. Huh? Have you ever had something we call the battle of the mind? Huh? Now, scientifically, it's called mental dissonance. It is a disagreement. Now, there's a battle between the conscious, I want riches. Subconscious mind says, there is now a file or software that will guarantee you riches. Now, and most of the time, 99.9%, the subconscious mind will always win. Hata nikimalizia hapo, Sam, takuwa nimemaliza. It's called neuro dissonance. You are medics. You can go an extra mile and search. Mental, the battle of the mind. This battle, nikuvuta, oh Sam, come here. I will do this. This is the subconscious mind. This is the conscious mind. So the conscious mind is requesting, I want to be rich. I want to become wealthy. But now, there is a battle. And at the end of it, the subconscious mind will win. Because I say 95% of your success, financial success, will be determined by the subconscious mind. You see the reason why we go back to the knowledge acquisition. Why are you disagreeing? Why have you been running away from books? Why have you been running away from books? Why have you been running away from studying? Why have you been running away from meditating? Back again to the word. Meditate on the word day and night. God is not a fool. God is not you cannot shortchange God. The moment I understood this, that is the time my financial life took a total 360 degrees paradigm shift. Paradigm shift. And that is why you hear these people, all these like even the likes of Warren Buffett. This guy that amazes me. Yes, Warren Buffett. He reads in between 3 to 4 hours in a day on a daily basis. Ingekuwa wewe ungekuwa unasoma kweli? Yeah? Can you imagine such a person? Until today, he has maintained the culture of reading and studying on a daily basis. 3 to 4 hours. You think you have to rise at 4 a.m. to go and work, forgetting about investing in yourself. Listen, work on yourself more than you work on your job. Mom, from today, make a decision to work on yourself more than you work. And I'm not saying for you to be lazy. If you used to wake up 6 a.m., kama hapa tulikuja na kuna wenye walichelewa, and you are not breastfeeding, I wonder what you are doing. Huh? You need to make a decision. Instead of waking up at 6 a.m., let me wake up at 5:30, prepare myself for 30 minutes, and then I give myself this 1 hour from 5 to 6. 1 hour. I told you, formal education will earn you a living, but personal education will make you rich. I am a product of personal education. It is not school. I never added any other degree. And I'm not saying going back to school is wrong, but you might go back to learn a wrong thing. The moment you have chosen your path, now you can go back and learn, invest according to that path of specialization that you have chosen. This general information will not help you. Naweza malizia hapo. this thing I cannot finish. Yeah? This thing needs 30 days non-stop. I've spoken about neurodissonance. The disagreement between your conscious brain and the subconscious brain. That is the battle of the mind. Have I said all that? The kind of information you acquire matters. So there has to be an alignment of the information. The alignment of what you want, according to Ephesians 3:20, the alignment of what you want and the alignment of the file or the software that is in the subconscious mind. Now, when there is it is called cognizance, agreement. There's an agreement. Striking a deal. The conscious is saying this, I want to become rich, I want to become wealthy. Now, the subconscious says this, there's a file of riches and wealth. They agree. And that is where explosion comes in. And that is why in Ephesians 3:20, if you read it, it says, I can do exceedingly, abundantly. Now, the exceeding, please look at how we quote scriptures. By the way, you didn't remember Bible school. Let me clarify so that you don't see I'm saying my own things. Rema Bible School. Go and search about Rema Bible School. Authentic Bible doctrines. Now, you see this abundance, I can do exceedingly and abundantly. This I like this. If you can get this, exceeding and abundant is as a result of the agreement of the conscious and the subconscious. It is an agreement. So we only say, I can do exceedingly abundantly, but you have not worked on the other side to make sure there's an agreement between the conscious and the subconscious. So that that agreement will produce an explosion. It's like we have agreed. Whether they like it or not, you are going to become rich. We have agreed. Whether they like it or not, you are going to become wealthy. And that is the story is in Genesis chapter 11 verse 1. The Tower of Babel. God had to come down to inspect. Because whatever conscious and subconscious mind have agreed, it has to come to pass. It will just be a matter of time. And that is why, I will not quote a lot of scriptures. I'll quote them next time. The Bible says, there's a place in the Bible, I don't want to quote that scripture. The Bible says, and Abraham staggered not against the promises of God in his mind. Staggering. You know? Staggering. You understand? Yeah? This is Abraham staggering. Now this staggering, in the conscience and in the subconscious, there's no disagreement. Subconscious mind inasema hivi, conscious mind inasema hivi. There's no unison, there's no agreement. He staggered not, he made sure. Do you know what it means? He made sure what the Bible says, what the promises of God says about him becoming the father of the nation. What the Bible says is what I will hold on. And that is why we come back again to the laws. What are the promises of God as far as your financial life is concerned? The law. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Meditate on it until it graduates to the subconscious mind. The moment it graduates, conscious and subconscious agree. And financial problems will come to an end. Riches will be part and parcel of you and wealth. People will wonder what happened to Simon. Utawambia kujeni, come back. But the problem, people don't want to read and study, meditate on those. They are very hard. Yeah? It's not easy. Mami, it's very easy. You can start even, say, in a day, I'm reading 2 pages. Now, where we come in now, I have risked on your behalf. You don't need to do guesswork over the books you read. I have gone ahead on your behalf. You don't need to do guesswork again. You need to ask me, Nick, because I'm ready to enroll into this journey. What are some of the kind of the books I'm supposed to be reading? Audio programs that I'm supposed to be listening and watching. What are some of them? I know them by God's grace. Because if you start going to try and doing guesswork again, you will waste a lot of time. And you have wasted the last 10 years again and 15. Do you have any more time to waste? Yes. So that's where now, I'm not. You can look for other financial advisors or financial coaches. But if you can come on board 5, okay, then we will tell you these are the books you're supposed to be reading. Leave alone these books. Read this book. Yeah, like now all men go to Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Go to chapter 11. Very important. The correlation between sex appetite and the production of ideas. It is said the same energy needed to produce idea. It is the same energy needed to pursue sex. So it's like choose. Unapursue gani? He ama he. I'll just go to Think and Grow in Napoleon Hill, chapter 11. And it's called sex transmutation. So that you see how we waste ourselves when we men, we are pursuing women. That single, I would have said, but I know I'm online. But tukikuwa kwa chemba ningesema kwenye zile kodi na mtu. That bad production of a single idea is the same as the other side, pursuing and doing whatever you want to do. Okay? So basically next time I'll get to that point because so that we can get time for questions, right? Next time I'll talk about